Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Halacha. The Daily Halacha is sponsored by the Morgan family in memory of Bella's mother, Dr. Ellen Shanzer, of blessed memory, Alana Bat Yisrael. We are now going to talk about Parve foods. It is often the case that we have Parve foods, like a potato, that was cooked in a meat pot or a dairy pot. And the question is, can we eat that potato cooked in a meat pot with dairy, or the potato cooked in a dairy pot with meat? So here we have a difference in halacha between Sfardim and Ashkenazim. If potatoes were cooked in a clean meat pot, it needs to be clean because if there was actual meat in there, then it's not just that the potatoes absorbed the meat taste of the pot, it's the potatoes now actually have meat on them, but we're assuming it's a clean pot. So potatoes were cooked in a clean meat pot, and one would like to eat them with milk. So according to the Sephardi custom, one is allowed to do so. However, Ashkenazim forbid this practice. One would not be able to take those potatoes, for example, that were cooked in a meat pot and eat them with sour cream, for example. But there are some leniencies, and they are as follows. If the potatoes are already mixed with milk, meaning accidentally someone mixed those potatoes or put sour cream on those potatoes, then one would be permitted to eat them. One is not supposed to do that on purpose. And the second exception to the rule is if the potatoes were cooked in a meat pot that had not been used for meat in the last 24 hours. Again, one should not do that. One should not cook parve food in a meat pot not used for 24 hours with the intention of using them on purpose with dairy. But if one did so, then one is allowed to eat those potatoes with dairy. Furthermore, it's important to note that the potatoes, even though they were cooked in a meat pot, can be eaten on a dairy plate. One can eat milk after eating those potatoes also without waiting. And finally, one can use a dairy vessel, a dairy utensil, which is not ben yomo, to cook parve food to be eaten with meat if one does not have a vessel which is parve or meat which would be suitable. Meaning in a case of an emergency, if one does not have anything, then one will be able to cook the food purposely, let's say in a meat pot, and eat it if it's Eino Ben Yomo, and eat it with dairy at a later time. Tomorrow we're going to discuss a bit of a revolution in the area of halacha in this area, which has been popularized by Rabbi Melamed, and I hope you will join me. Have a wonderful day.